welcome to the B&B Motorsports channel. My name is Braylon, and today I am here with a 2002 Pontiac Trans Am WS6. I'm so excited for this episode because 2002 is my birth year, so let's get going. Available since 1969, 2002 was the last year Trans Ams were produced, ending a 33-year legacy. The fourth generation spanned from 1993 to 2002. This body-style Trans Am was available from 1998 to 2002. The color is pewter metallic and this F-body is all stock. Big thanks to Stu Ostrander, the owner of the car. Let's look at the LS1. The engine is a 5.7-liter V8, also known as the LS1. Since this car is completely stock, the approximate horsepower and torque numbers of 325 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 350 pound-foot of torque at 4,000 RPM should be accurate. The car is a manual with a T56 transmission. Now this car is all stock, and that includes the original Speedline wheels, the 17-inch rims, and their 275s all the way around. I know gas mileage is on everyone's mind right now. The TA gets 18 in the city, 26 on the highway, and the fuel tank holds 16.8 gallons. F-body is a GM platform produced from 1967 to 2002. This is the final generation of F-bodies, and the only two vehicles that ever used this platform designation are the Chevrolet Camaro and the Pontiac Firebird. WS6 is a special performance package first introduced in 1978. It was taken away in 1992, but it was reintroduced in 1996. That is the year of my Trans Am. Now you might be wondering what all goes into a WS6. Well, it is mostly a handling package, but it also includes this ram air hood with the iconic horsepower increasing nostrils. All kinds of things to like about this Trans Am. As I've said before, they have the best butt in the business, so this is one of my favorite things about this car. I also love T-tops, very partial to those, so some of my favorite things, as well as that ram air hood. My one complaint is the T-tops because they are very inconvenient to store, so if you put them in the back, you're not going to have much storage space. The original interior is still in remarkable shape for the car's age and its mileage. The bolsters are still firm, seats are comfortable. Again, not a lot of backseat room. There are steering wheel controls. The car comes with the optional Hurst shifter and the CD player and radio. A few things that I like about this interior are the optional Hurst shifter. It should be noted that cassette players were removed for this year. Power mirrors and antenna are now standard. If I had to improve anything, it would be the radio, CD player. I would prefer a Bluetooth radio. Okay, let's look at the key. You have the fob with the lock and unlock buttons, as well as the trunk release and alarm. There is this key right here for the doors and the trunk, and your ignition key that has the special chip. Let's start this bad boy up and go for a drive. Now this interior is pretty similar to my 96 Trans Am and the 02 Firehawk that I reviewed a few months before. Now I am not used to the steering wheel controls in my Trans Am. The stock exhaust is throaty, but it is certainly not as loud. There are significant differences between aftermarket exhausts such as Borla or MagnaFlow or Flowmaster, like what's on my Trans Am. Even though this car is stock, it still gets the job done. I really like the T56 transmission, that 6-speed. I'm used to it, and even though I have an aftermarket short throw shifter, I don't mind this Hurst shifter as well. It was a great option that Mr. Ostrander picked. With this Trans Am being fully stock, I did it right there so you could see it. It still has the skipped shift function, which is essentially putting you into fourth gear instead of second gear if you're driving a bit slower. However, most people typically put a skip shift eliminator on their cars, which is what my 96 Trans Am has on it. You all made it to the final review. It is going to be short and sweet today. I have some extra content here for you in just a second. I just wanted to say thank you again to Mr. Ostrander. I really enjoyed his Trans Am. I am a huge fan of F-bodies, as you probably already know, so I have no major complaints, and I had such a great experience driving this car. I recommend Trans Ams to anyone and everyone who has an interest in them. Now, I would like to show you guys some additional content. Mr. Ostrander has a plane, and I had the opportunity to go up in the air with him and even fly a little bit. So stick around and watch a couple minutes of footage with me. The plane in front of you is a Grob G109B. Its length is 26.57 feet. Its wingspan is 57.09 feet. Its height is 5.58 feet. Its empty weight is about 1,290 pounds, and its max gross weight is 1,874 pounds. Its max speed is 149 miles per hour. Its horsepower is an entire 93. On our route that Mr. Ostrander and I flew, we were up in the air about 58 minutes. We covered 75.8 miles. We had 127 mile per hour max ground speed, and our max altitude was 3,681 feet above sea level. I will include a screenshot of our travel and the parts that I was able to fly, which was so much fun. You'll see some 360s, which was where I was flying. I was even able to glide a little bit, which was such a crazy experience to have no engine running all the way up in the air. I'm also going to include a quick clip of the wings being installed. In real time, it only takes about 4 minutes, but of course I will speed it up for the sake of the video in case you guys are curious. This Grob not only makes local flights, it also flies cross-country. The Ostranders have taken it on the over 2,000 mile trip to Utah. Thank you so much again to Mr. Ostrander. I had such a great time reviewing and driving your Trans Am and flying your plane.